Welcome to, ladies and gentlemen, to Overtime, your one-stop shop for all things RLCS and Rocket League eSports. I'm your host, Wave Punk. I got a Quinn Lobdell and a findable carpet with me. Back at it again. You don't have any white Vans on.
No.
That's
but
okay.
I do have some nice shoes.
Some nice shoes. How you doing, Quinn?
I'm pretty good, as always.
Are you a shoe guy?
Right.
Do you like nice shoes?
I like nice shoes.
I've noticed there are just people that are like footwear people. Some that just like don't really care much for footwear, right? There's some guys like
The people who don't
people
replace their shoes, they've got like holes in them everywhere.
Yeah. Well, but they like nice clothes. Just like footwear's not their thing. I'm like a sock shoe
You
kind
gotta
of
tie
guy.
it all together.
I like shoes,
with the shoes.
but just boots.
Yeah, you're a boot guy.
Just boots. That's
Boots and
what
belt
we're all about.
buckles.
Guys, we are in between seasons right now. We have had roster lock, and so there's so many new teams on both North America and EU. So we're gonna go through. We did dislike a few weeks back. We're gonna do kind of a variation on that called Rivals versus Champions, or Rivals or Champions, and which team, which place we think the teams are gonna make it into. We're just gonna go through some rosters, do NA, then we'll do EU. You notice these buttons? See these buttons? Okay. Just, don't press. We don't want to make the things happen yet. We haven't had them.
You
happen
said buttons. I press
They're
button.
here. Yes, we're gonna. No, stop it. Stop it.
You say button, I press button.
No.
That's the rule.
No.
So how does this work,
They
Wade?
came up with
How does this work,
without
Wade?
me knowing about it. I don't
How
like
does
it.
this work?
All right. Here's the thing. We're gonna say the team name. Okay. I'm gonna say ready, set, go, and then you're gonna press one of those things that's in front of you, and then we're going to press it, and then we'll see what everyone thinks, okay? You're gonna press the orange one if you think they're gonna make it in RLCS. You're gonna press the blue one if you think they're gonna make it into RLRS, the rival series, the relegation league. So it'll be a lot of fun. Let's play. We're gonna start with Equinox, which is Corrupted G, Chrome, Sad Jr., sub is Papiope. Ready, set, go. Okay, cool. We all agreed. RLCS.
Nice.
Bam.
I mean, they've been doing. Steve's been doing a good job. They've been playing well. The only tournament we've really seen them play a full roster was brisk. And I don't know what's so funny
Are you
right
okay,
now.
dude?
What's so funny right now?
I think we're losing Quinn. Let's just go without him. It's okay. We're not a leave.
We're okay.
We're not a leave no
good.
man behind kind of
promise,
crew.
Here's my thing. Here's
We
my
leave
thing about
people behind.
Equinox. I think I'm putting them. I put them in RLCS because I think they're a good team, but it's not like, oh man, they're going to be in my top 4 or something like that. They're just good enough at this point for me. I've only seen them play one time at the brisk. I think it's the only time they've actually played with the full roster.
I think experience is a big part of it. And Sad
Yeah.
Jr., after chatting with him and seeing that he really is putting the time and effort, which I think was his biggest flaw, was that he was good.
Flawed man.
Flaw? What?
You said it. His
Flaw.
biggest flaw. Flawed man.
Yes. I still don't know what you're saying.
And Sad Jr., flawed man. Okay, never mind.
Oh, flawed
He's
man.
flawed
Yeah,
because you say he has
Flawed
a flaw.
man. Oh, I thought you were saying like flaw ban. Like some weird plan. Oh yeah, flaw ban. I get it. Anyways,
First you're just pressing them all the time, then you're making up words. Like, come on, guys.
pressing what?
No, I'm not saying those things.
You were about to. You were
I caught on to this game so fast. You guys.
we
you guys
should
are
have
crazy.
chosen better words.
So sad. Yeah.
Quinn, did you put this team in RLCS just because Quinn's in the name, right? Equinox.
Oh.
That's not how you spell Quinn.
really
No,
Wade?
That's not how you spell Quinn. You should be
Equinox.
ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a host?
Yeah, man. No, but just be honest. Be honest. That's why you think they're making the team.
Equinox?
Equinox.
That'd be pretty good, actually.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't.
All right,
Terrible.
next team. Let's move on. We've talked about Equinox. We all agreed they'll make it into RLCS.
Mm-hmm.
Next one. Remember, this is RLCS. The blue one is RLRS. Genesis. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh man, you guys both think RLCS.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Genesis has not impressed me in any way.
Well, I'll be completely honest. They're online. It is what it is. These guys are so good online. When they get to LAN, I mean, we see them struggle, but we saw Genesis in Season 2, for instance, have such a successful, season, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they just kind of...
There's one similar player. One similar player from any previous records of Genesis.
Yeah, but Zane Jackie did really well at LAN.
I like
when he was
Zane
take
Jackie
3.
a lot. I love Zane Jackie to death. And the funny thing is, I actually put out polls earlier last week when I had Genesis in my top 8, and then like the whole world kind of talked me out of it. I was like, they're there, and the more I thought about it, the more I was just like,
You're
I just don't know.
weak-minded.
No.
You're a weak-willed
They tried to talk
man.
me. They tried to talk me out
When
some
you
other ones too,
press
and I didn't. But this one, I
flawed.
agree.
When you press the button, you believe in yourself.
When you
that
press
you
the what?
press the button. I'll count myself for that one.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know. I think in general they've got the overall skill. All 3 of those players have struggled when it seems to be like it's cohesion with their teammates. They all have they've been there. They've all been in league play. They've all made it. So they obviously have the individual skill. It's just working together. And I think what I'm excited to see is their play styles. I think bode well. Zane Jackie's usually a little more grounded, a little quieter, I guess, like for lack of a better phrase. Classics is the bruiser, right? He's just always up in your face, contesting as many things as he can. Vladimir's mechanically sound, like really, really strong shots, always able to put it in from really weird angles. So I'm hoping that together as a group, plus, I just want to be right. So I hope they make it in because I don't like being wrong. So that's always, a fun
Great reasoning there.
Yeah, great reasoning.
I haven't seen anything. The thing is there's some teams.
I think anyone does.
There's some teams on this list we haven't seen at all, and so it's hard to like make a good pick out of them. But like these guys, we have seen Genesis play with their full roster, and I just was not impressed. So
fair enough.
We'll see. Rival series,
To
good
each
stuff.
his own.
Impress me, Genesis. Go for it. Like to see it. Next one here, Premature Superhero Cops. Best name, worst name, I don't know. It's a name. Prem, Gambit, and Geno Cop. Ready, set, go.
What is that?
What?
I don't think they're making either one.
You get one of those?
I did.
Here.
I got this. Wait, you changing?
I mean, I'm not officially, but that's not fair. I just want to press the green
if
button.
you get to press it, I get to press it.
Yeah.
No, this is my button.
is
if you guys
bull.
hadn't
Reach
you
over
guys
there.
hadn't invented a cool game without me, maybe I'd have given you a green button.
Well, you
but-
wouldn't have played anyway.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm looking at this roster here, and these are all players that, at least in season 1, were good. Gambit and Geno Cop in particular were fantastic players. Prem's always been a good. Actually, I think that Prem's probably the most consistent player. The player's been playing the most on this team in a while.
I don't know about most consistent.
I don't know, but playing like
and not
he's
to be
A most
still
consistent
playing,
presence.
like he's actually been playing.
Geno Cop's been playing, hasn't he?
I don't know. I haven't seen him much.
I believe
I
so.
haven't seen him much. Gambit definitely took a massive break.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that happens. You need breaks.
I just to be completely honest, I just don't think they're
A
making
little
it in.
crooked. I'm just fixing you here.
Thank you.
There you go. Sorry. I had to fix that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rival series.
I
Yes.
think. I mean, I was teetering between rivals and not at all. Obviously, I
you
didn't
didn't
there
even
was
know
a,
this button
I didn't
existed?
know there was a third
Yeah,
button.
we don't. Oh,
Don't.
You
You
missed-
never press both at the same time.
he
You
said
don't cross
it.
the stream.
That was the rule. That was the game.
You
I
don't
didn't
cross
say it,
the
he said it.
streams.
No, you said button. You let it slip.
These guys invented a game where when I say button, they press all the buttons. In case you hadn't figured that out yet.
You missed that section.
But I'm with you. I think they haven't been playing enough. We haven't seen Gambit in a long time. And even when we did see Gambit last, he really did start to kind of fall off his throne. He was probably one of the best players in North America, if not
He was the
best.
best in North America at the time.
He was for like a
Widely
good chunk of
considered.
time. It was insane. He fell off for whatever the reason was. Like it just kind of happens, like personal reasons, not able to dedicate the time. Geno Cop again, kind of the same way. Like he came in really strong.
Yeah,
then
Geno
he
Cop
didn't show up in league play.
Had so many great performances, and I mean, just kind of comes out of nowhere, and always seems to be a strong player. But I think this extended break that he took most recently is definitely going to affect him. The same way, Gambit, you kind of have to like regrind yourself all the way back up. Remember all the good that you used to do.
Both of those players, Geno Cop and Gambit, have had their off-the-field issues that have affected their rosters in the past. And I would like to think that those are like situational things that just kind of happened. They weren't like character traits of the people, but you do start to wonder when it starts to become kind of a trend. Like, is it not you? Is it me? Whatever. Hopefully that doesn't happen with them. Hopefully they get to compete, and hopefully they make it through. I would love to see them in the rival series or in the RLCS, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, next roster here, one of the favorite, most hotly contested rosters in North America right now, Vivian eSports, Chicago, Zolhe, and Hato, not Hato, Quinn, Hato. Ready, set, go. Oh man, Quinn.
Really?
Quinn, what you got?
You guys are insane. Those guys are great players.
I'm not saying they're not great players.
I mean, I would probably put them above Equinox and Genesis.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Those
my
guys,
thing.
I didn't ask for your thing. I was still
Sure,
speaking.
okay, finish your
Okay,
thing.
say your
Vivian
thing,
has done
then.
such a good job at improving lately, and they're young, and they've been grinding for so long. They were not a part of the RLCS. They were too young. They're only 16 now. So, like, this is their chance, and they're really hungry. You can see the improvement, and they take out top teams. These guys have upsets, and it's, like, consistent as well. You ask any top players, they'll have respect for Chicago, Hato, and Zolhe. I mean, they're great players.
Don't I got respect for the guys. Don't
So
put
then why are
words
you
in my
pressing the
mouth.
blue button?
Okay, here, I'll tell
How
you
is
why.
this
I'll tell you why.
disrespectful?
I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you a story, okay? Before Season 2, there was this team. They were called Momentum. They were awesome. They were winning everything. They were winning every online tournament that anybody was playing, okay? Carper, what happened to them in the qualifiers?
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it. That was crazy. I'm going to tell you another story, okay? So there was this team called Iris before Season 3. They were awesome. They were winning everything. Everybody loved them. And then we got to the qualifiers. What happened, Carpet?
They didn't make it.
My goodness. So I'm not buying the hype this time. I'm not falling for it again. They have to make it into RLCS before I'm going to
So
believe
you're
on
telling
it.
me literally any new team that just has any success at all, just not going
I'm
to
just saying,
qualify?
I'm not going to buy the hype.
They
I'm not
have.
going to buy that.
But look at their consistency over more time. They've been winning tournaments for some time.
Momentum was winning tournaments the entire offseason.
Not the entire offseason.
Yeah,
It was like
dude.
3 weeks.
It was more than 3
Dude,
weeks.
they were the monsters. I was making them wallpapers. I was like, these guys are super cool. I've got time to kill. I'm gonna keep on building these guys up hype because I totally bought into the train and I'm not. They broke my heart. Not having it happen again.
Okay,
By the
you
way,
love-
that team is
I
also
think-
now known as Renegades.
I
so,
think a huge
they-
part of
they
it
did eventually make it.
is just going to be experience with the pressure. When you are in a final elimination bracket and you have to qualify in and you can't make any mistakes, that's where I don't think.
2 of the 3 of those players just qualified in the 2v2 Universal
They
Open.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
In a LAN environment, their first time ever there.
2s is so much different than 3s.
Yeah,
was
it's
good.
more difficult. There's more individual pressure on the players, and if they could qualify and LAN their first ever, I think they can do it online.
Which in that happened this past weekend, it was fantastic. Go back and watch it if you want. And I agree with you. We actually brought
You
this up on the
agree with me,
broadcast.
huh?
I brought
I think you
no.
need to switch what
no,
color you're pressing.
I agree with you that it was a good performance. I think that if anything, they have the best chance of
We
the
saw
3
them-
rosters. Let me finish. Of the 3 rosters we've been talking about, they have the best chance to make it into RLCS. But on
breaths.
principle, I am not changing my answer. They have to do it before I'm going to
On
believe in them.
principle, okay.
Vivian, do it for us because I'd
I
love to see
think
it
I
there.
think it's super unfair to take a performance in a 2s team and then just translate that immediately to 3s in a high pressure environment.
we
I
can
think
talk.
it's super unfair.
We'll talk about this later. We got to move on.
You
Got to move
can't.
on here.
Still a great
Quinn.
achievement.
Yeah.
Okay, well, move on.
Got to move on.
I don't even think you believe yourself.
I do believe myself. I don't know.
I believe.
I believe myself. I don't know. What a way to convince people I believe in myself. Final roster for NA. We're going to talk about Strobe, Epic Johnny, Lichinio, the world champion, and Justin. 1, 2, 3, go.
Let me borrow that green button over here.
RLRS. Okay, I was borderline putting these guys on the green button as well, but just because of the fact that I'm not sure who else would make it, I'm putting them in here. Justin, I've heard fantastic things about. I think I have not actually really seen Justin play much, but I've heard that he's a fantastic player, and Lichinio is a name there. But I'm gonna be honest, at DreamHack and in the Universal Open, I've been disappointed in Lichinio's play.
He just hasn't been able to put the time in. I think he's been sidetracked with other things in life. He's been doing a lot of soccer, a lot of school, and whatever it is for him. And I think it's just, especially right now, like how just volatile the Rocket League scene is, you have to be able to put in the time, or you're just going to fall down. Like it's not.
Oh, yeah, we saw it with Prem, with Gambit, who was considered, like we said earlier,
Yeah.
the #1 player in North America.
And that was 2 seasons ago he fell down just
Right,
from not
not
being
even
able to
like
play as much.
a full year kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. I think that just Lichinio, like you mentioned, he took a break, right? So he's not immune, just like the rest of the players. And I think one of the things that, especially with Lichinio, you look at how he used to play, very aggressive, and he had like great control, and he loved to dribble. You could tell he would always go for these dribbling opportunities. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a part of his game that like he's kind of, he hasn't woken back up with the rest of him yet. So I think
sure.
until he's able to kind of get back to ways of old, I mean,
Yep.
gonna be
And
struggling.
this roster formed like moments before the roster lock as well. Like this is a last-minute roster, dudes just trying to make it through. Got some big names there, but we'll see if they can make it. We all think they're gonna make it into the rival series. What do you guys think? Let us know in chat between all of those. Sure, have fun figuring out which team you guys are all talking about as you all spam rival in RLCS right now. But it's been fun. Did it here for NA. We're gonna do it in EU again. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done doing our picks.
I was hoping you'd do poetry right there.
Welcome back to Overtime. It's gonna be a grand time. Rhyme
good.
time with time. Lime. I'm actually having trouble thinking of other words that rhyme with time right now.
Rhyme.
You're putting me on the spot.
That was the idea. Failed, by the way. Failed the on the spot.
Now I'm like just thinking of words that rhyme with idea or failed or this is a bad train of thought right now. But rivals or champions, did it for North America. Now we're gonna do it for EU. Going with the rosters that people are maybe not thinking about as much, or maybe a few that you are thinking about. I don't know what people are thinking about these days. Got 5 rosters here, same deal. Press the orange button.
Yeah, got him.
I said press the orange button, didn't I? I told them to press the button. Stop it. Stop
You
being
know
terrible.
what you have to do
Stop
to make
being
it stop.
terrible people right
It's
now.
very
Press
simple.
this one for RLCS, press that one for RLRS. Let's get this started before we just keep the show on air. My goodness. Starting with Excel, Neil Skook, Pondex, and Zenzus. Ready, set, go. Carpet, you gotta defend yourself here.
Do I? Is
Yeah.
that how this works?
We both think that it's the champions,
You guys
and you
attacked
think
me.
differently.
Yep.
Earlier.
How could you possibly think that these guys are not RLCS quality material?
It's not that I don't think they're not RLCS quality material, but when you look at the teams in Europe and then you look at a roster of teams, a roster of players that I don't think have really played much together, I think it's just going to be difficult. Again, individual skill mixed with team cohesiveness. I think those two are going to battle too hard.
What about-
It's going to be tough.
What about every time there's like a
no.
huge roster swap and none of them have played together?
Yeah, and those teams usually
Look,
struggle a bit.
this
Some of them
is-
make it, some of them don't.
That's like half the teams.
yeah, some of them make it, some of them don't.
This is Calnose minus Dan Hizzle. We replaced Dan Hizzle with Pondex, and you think the team got worse?
No. I think there's a lot of other teams out. There's teams they have to beat.
Teams.
There's teams. It's really just more like when I was looking at the entire top 8, it was really hard for me to take another team out and put them in. So they ended up in rivals. Sorry.
I personally look at it and I see like Calnose looked much better than I was expecting them to look preseason. I'll put it that way. There was a team that I was like, just kind of snuck into RLCS. They won't do much, and then they actually were looking pretty good through the majority of the season. I think Pondex is considerably a more clutch player than Dan Hizzle is. Love Dan Hizzle, but I think Pondex has kind of been on the pro bubble circuit area for a lot longer. So I think this team's got a good shot at
the
RLCS.
pro bubble circuit.
The pro
How
bubble
could I
circuit,
forgot?
yes.
The
You
pro
know.
bubble circuit.
So many people have made that a career.
Someone make a tournament out there called the pro bubble circuit, please. Pro bubble circuit. That's their intro. We just made their intro. We don't have to work for you. Just
Pop
do the
bubbles.
tournament. What? The pro bubble circuit.
Has nothing
We've
to do
just
with
done
Rocket
it.
League.
And it's everything to do with Rocket League.
Quinn, you got any other thoughts on Excel here?
I mean, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. Kind of great team, and they just got the upgrade with Pondex.
Okay, sorry, I got a little close. Hi.
Hi.
I just realized I was like leaning in.
Oh, aren't you two just adorable? Moving on, the all-British, except for Flarky Rejects. Longest team name ever. If they make it into any of the leagues, they're going to have to change that name because that's just too long of a name. Doomsy, Flarky, Florison, Nauman. Ready to go. You again?
Actually, no. I lied. I'm sorry. I pressed the wrong button.
Okay.
I really did.
Smooth.
Okay.
This is
sorry, I'm
probably
trying.
against my own better judgment, but I'm scared that if Doomsy doesn't make it now, he's quitting, and I need Doomsy to play Rocket League.
So this isn't.
This is my plea to you. I need you, Doomsy. Please make it into the RLCS. I mean, I think if there's ever a time for him to really feel kind of too defeated, now's the time. He's been crushed since season 1. He's crushed all of our hearts since season
He was
1.
5 points away from laying season 1.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I think like this is the time. He's got Flarky with him as well. We'd seen Flarky have pretty solid performance. I know he was kind of again on that I guess what was it called? The bubble.
The pro bubble
The
circuit.
pro bubble circuit. I don't know. He was like in
Flarky
the pro.
as a pro on the pro bubble circuit.
He was always up there.
Flarky was above the pro bubble circuit.
Yeah,
Flarky
yeah.
was on like
he was for a bit, and then he went up, and then we just hadn't really seen him. Like he'd make it in, and then they wouldn't really perform terribly
Okay,
well.
okay,
That's
okay.
kind of what I mean
That's
by the
fair,
pro
that's
bubble
fair.
circuit, because you
Right.
are a pro, but also like
You're in the bubble circuit.
you're in the bubble circuit.
I just have to say, I'm giving Doomsy more credit than I was giving him earlier. I had him not in anything. I had him out, and then
What?
And then he and I argued about it for quite a while on Twitter, and then eventually I was like, okay, here, I'm gonna give you the credit you're due here, Doomsy. Putting you in the rival series, make me proud. Get higher than that. Get an RLCS. I would love to see these guys make an RLCS because then we have like the leftovers and the rejects in the same.
I know I'm setting myself up to potentially get burned yet again, but I've got faith, Doomsy.
Setting yourself up pretty strong for that too.
I've
I
got
think it's
faith.
rival
I've got
series.
faith. Because if no one has faith, then what is there? There's just 2 buttons that are different colors.
That is the most religious thing I've ever heard you say. Don't have faith. What is there? Moving on. Frontline. Farah, Bluey, Shalset, and their sub Yukio. Ready, set, go. Oh man, Quinn, no faith in. Did you not see Farah season 3? Come on.
Don't look at my answers.
No,
what are you doing?
At the team rosters.
The team roster's on the screen in front of you. Farah, Bluey, and Shalset.
No. Really, okay. Shalset is a fantastic player. Seriously, just a really good player, but he's very young.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and we look at Bluey now, who's also going into his first RLCS season.
We're talking about eSports. Everybody's young. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean,
Sports.
I think that they're all going to be good players, but I think that just the combination of them, it just doesn't strike me as like something exceptional. And so Rival Series is nothing to be ashamed of, like you said earlier.
Oh, but you shamed me earlier for putting someone on Rival Series. Now it's like,
I just don't know.
No, it's fine.
I don't know who else you're putting in the top 8.
It's not a big
I'm not allowed
Did
to
you not
change?
see Farah? Did you not see Farah playing in season 3?
No, but I thought Farah was insane at LAN.
Did you see what? What?
But before, I mean,
When he
I just don't think
completely
he's gonna
dribbled
get
your boy's flip side, he wasn't insane in week number 1?
Well, it's because it's his boy's flip side. No one actually does.
No one ever does anything good against flip side.
What?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
We all know you like flip side here.
So?
And so they reverse
Wait,
sweep.
you telling me you don't like flip side?
They reverse sweep your boy's
You were
flip side
telling
in
me
the week.
yesterday that you like flip side.
Oh, I love flip side, but I'm
You
gonna.
love flip side.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna acknowledge when Farah beats them. He completely
I
took
said
them out
that
over and
was
over
an
again.
insane dribble.
And then he knocks them out at LAN. And you're telling me bookends of the season, you'd be like, nah, he just was good at LAN. They reverse swept so many people
All right,
that
sorry.
season.
I'm sorry that I totally marginalized Farah's entire career and performance. I'm sorry, Farah. I'm sorry.
That's all he wanted. That's all Pharaoh wanted was this apology.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now he's gonna make him there.
Is it okay? Did I make it better? Did I make it better? We're good?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're okay.
Okay, I think just had to nail you to the wall on that one. Of course, that's how the show works. That's my favorite part. Moving on, the Thick Icebergs, best team name ever. Grandmaster Sexy Mike rules and Flummox ready, set, go. All right, cool.
All right, moving on. No.
No.
First of all, I don't know if Thick Icebergs the name was meant to be a tongue twister, but I
Thick Icebergs.
have to not say Thick Icebergs every time. I will 100% say Thick Icebergs. Thick Icebergs at least like 3 times in their broadcast if they make it. I don't know what it is, like thick, and I think they might be spelling it with 2 C's, which is
Yeah, I was saying, why
amazing.
would? Yeah, I was
I
like,
think they might be with 2 C's.
it needs to be with 2 C's.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
Thick Icebergs.
That's the only way you spell it.
I think they should have just spelled it Thick Icebergs. It would have been so much better.
I think that Thick Iceberg.
Yeah, when we're talking about players that like took like a hiatus, Mike Rules is definitely in that conversation. But
Yeah.
Mike definitely has continued to play in a way that the other ones have not. He took a hiatus from the like competitive scene, but I think he stayed active in Rocket League. Still streams quite a bit too.
I think Mike is definitely still an RLCS quality player. I mean, Mike is seriously one of the most talented players I think that's ever played Rocket League. I have so much respect for him, and you can watch. The guy has really kind of taken just a step away from the competitive scene. Not completely, he's still competing, but like you can tell that, you know, it's just not his #1 priority, I don't think. And I mean, he still performs incredibly well. And that's difficult to do, especially when you're getting less practice, less scrims, all that good stuff. I think Mike is RLCS quality. I think it's the other 2 here that kind of just don't quite make the cut.
We've seen GMS up there. I like GMS a lot. It's
Yeah.
Flummox that I have the most questions about.
Grandmaster Sexy, I think is what that short's for. I think a lot of it too is like intentionality. Since Mike Rules took a step down from competitive, I don't know if his mind has truly switched on to I want to try and competitive again. So I think attempting a qualifier without the full intentionality of wanting to win and wanting to qualify, I think that just might take a hit in general in their performance. Because I think part of them still really doesn't want to do competitive. I mean, I don't know. I don't speak for the man. I don't actually know.
It's all speculation. Yeah.
All speculation. Because I know we made a big announcement about not wanting to do competitive, and I haven't heard vice versa. So I'm going to assume that could be the same mentality. So I think just like the intentionality of why you're going into
Well,
compete.
he's incredibly competitive. I mean, if you talk to the guy, you can tell right away that guy is like, he does not like to lose.
No. No.
Season 1,
Which
we
respect,
knew,
right?
we knew before the LAN that he was going to take a step down if they didn't, like after Season 1, no matter how anything went. They end up in the finals, and I know that while I wanted iBuyPower to win because we're in North America and it's Kernovi and it's, you know, how great of a story would it be for iBuyPower to win the first LAN, I also, part of me really wanted, for Mike Rules' sake, I wanted him to, and flip side, to take the victory there just because it would have been good. You know, if it's your last time playing, you never want to go out on a loss. You know, we never stop playing when we end on a loss. You keep playing at least until you win.
Or until you lose all your
Yeah, or until you've just
Hoping.
you're so tilted you have to stop.
So until there's nothing left but 2 buttons.
So while I'm putting him in the rival series here, I really would love to see Mike make it all the way into RLCS and have a shot at getting that win that I know he's been chasing for so long.
I mean, watching him go against Flipside would just be like such a cool moment again to watch him go against his old teammates. I mean, they were the roster for like a year, nonstop.
Yeah.
They were the longest standing unbreakable threes roster. And then when he left, it was a big hit. And they ended up, they picked up Greasy, and it was they still performed well. Mike Rules didn't qualify 2 seasons in a row, but to watch them go head to head again would just be like such a cool, almost like a fun, iconic moment of like,
kind of like that
these are your boys.
I mean, it's always fun to see players go against their former teammates because you know that they have just like a better understanding of their teammates, right, than you normally would have against your typical opponent. So like, there's just another level of mind games. That's so much fun to watch, like to see them like battle it out.
All right, well, Mike Rules, hope to see you there. One last team to talk about here, the Juicy Kids. I don't know what I think about that name, but it's a name there. Killer number 7, Stocky, and Coca? Coca, I believe. 1, 2, 3, go. Bring out the green button again. I don't.
That was a versatile. Just, I wasn't talking about that.
This is the most versatile answer we've ever seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you had green, I had blue.
Oh, we do have 3 completely different answers. Yep.
I
Well, you just look at that, man. You think RLCS? Really?
Potentially.
no, that was
Yeah, I know, right?
so authentic.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was
Relax.
for real here.
I mean, Killer number 7. It's really hard to just pick the
Killer
guy
number
off and
7's
put him as
great.
a non-qualified. Killer number 7's great. We've seen
agree.
Stocky perform really well. While we haven't seen Coca, I can't imagine they just pick up a third. They wouldn't perform well.
Okay, this is kind of going to go for a lot of the other teams as well. Where like, especially we just spoke Mike Rules. I think that all these players are seriously great and they could be on RLCS level teams. However, the level of competition we've seen from season 1 to season 3 is just. It's enormous, the gap that has, appeared between the level of skill there was between these 2 seasons. And so I think that we're going to just see them not really be able to make it all the way back up there. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just people are dope.
I mean, I think it's so tough because the most difficult thing about pretty much all of our answers is that a lot of these teams we've never actually gotten to watch perform in more than like a month's period. Some of these teams were made up weeks prior, maybe a month prior. But even so, like, how am I supposed to qualify a team's integrity with a month? But I genuinely just think, like, after what I've seen Killer number 7 do, what I've seen Stocky do, it's really hard for me not to assume that if they work well, they could easily make top. I don't have to easily, but they could make a top 8 spot if those 2 work well together.
Killer number 7 is one of those players that I've been like having faith in for a long time, but then he's just like consistently not had the performance I was hoping for him in, or hoping for him to have there. So and Stocky's good player as well.
Number 8.
We need. We need the upgrade. We need the patch update here. No, he's a little out. My goodness. Anyway, guys, we could talk about this for a long time, but that's going to do it for Rivals versus Champions here. When we come back, Corrupted G on the line, going to talk to him, pick his brain about the RLCS versus the RLRS, about his new roster, Equinox. That and more when we come back to Overtime. Welcome back to Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done making picks on rivals versus champions. Lots of stuff. I want to talk to some of the players about this because it's a big change here in RLCS. We've got Corrupted G on the line from Equinox right now. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Always the first question here on Overtime. How'd you get into Rocket League?
So I started playing Rocket League because I saw my friend playing. And then once I started playing with him, I just loved it and I couldn't get enough of it. So I kept playing. All my friends eventually just stopped playing and I just kept going at it by myself. And pretty much I got high on the leaderboards. Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, that's funny. Actually, I had the same story except for the leaderboards part. I have a bunch of friends that got me into playing it, and they've all stopped playing. I'm the only one who's still here. Just never got high on the leaderboards, though, and that's why you're the pro and I'm the host here. But continuing on, background in esports. Talk to me. Was this your first esport, or did you play competitively in other games before this?
So Rocket League's my first esport where I'm actually professional. I played League of Legends for maybe 5 to 6 years, and I got to Diamond, but that's pretty much it.
Wow.
I wanted to go further, but I just couldn't. The game was too hard for me, I guess. So I started playing Rocket League and got really high. People started noticing me, joined teams, joined tournaments, and here I am.
Yeah, for sure. So been a competitive gamer all your life, I guess. And talk to me about you guys. You were on Denial in Season 3, made it to LAN. That had to be a cool experience. And now through the offseason, you've had a number of different teams. Started on Denial, and now then you went to Myth, then you went to Equinox. Talk to me about the transition through these rosters in the offseason.
So with Denial, we made the Season 3 LAN, which was probably unexpected to many people, including us. And we had some good results, but Lethamir ended up leaving our team. Decided to part ways, so ended up joining Myth with Oceania, and it was looking good in the beginning, but then we realized at the end that we were all too aggressive together, and it really wasn't meshing well. We had to make a last-minute decision, and then ended up deciding with Chrome because he's a more patient player and works well with our playstyle.
Fantastic. So with you had Lachinio on the team, and all three of you just being really competitive players felt like. So was it just wasn't a defender? The rotations weren't working out?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Our rotations were not that great, and we felt like we could find better, and he could find better, have more chemistry with other people. That's what we ended up doing. Yeah,
you can see here there's Sad Jr. tweeting out that you guys left Lachinio there in Myth Gaming, but you found your own roster. How close to the roster lock was Equinox coming together here?
We were playing with Chrome for a couple days, and we ended up deciding one day before that we should team up. And I think it was for the better. I think we're gonna do well, and I have confidence in our roster.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, and so looking forward, Season 4 is, in many regards, the most important season of Rocket League because we're introducing this rival series system of relegation. So in the future, you'll only be able to qualify for the rival series, and you'll have to win through the rival series to get into RLCS. And talk to me about how you as a player feel about this, because up until now, you've been able to play qualifiers to get into RLCS, but now you're going to have to go through another system, another layer before you get to that top league. How do you feel about the introduction of the relegation system?
I like it a lot, actually. Since I came from League of Legends, I always liked the way they handled their esports scene, and I feel like it's way more secure for teams and organizations to join into Rocket League, and I think that's gonna play a big part in Rocket League's success in the future.
Yeah, it definitely creates a lot of stability, which is something, when you look at the most recent roster shuffle and how every team breaks up and every team ends up somewhere else, and a relegation system helps avoid that. How would you feel if Equinox only made it into the rival series this season?
Honestly, I'd probably be pretty disappointed and devastated because me personally, I've been in the last 2 RLCSs. Chrome and Sad Jr. have been in all of them. I think we're all expecting to make it, and we're confident. So just hoping for the best, and I think we could do it.
Fantastic, bud. Well, so I'm taking then that you think you guys are going to make it into RLCS.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I hope to see you there. And talking about moving out a little bit from just Rocket League and stuff, what sort of stuff do you do on the side? I hear you like to play a lot of sports, real sports, not just esports.
Yeah, when I was younger, I played hockey and soccer. Not really that competitive. I was playing House League or the next up from House League. And then I got into golf a little bit later, which I ended up being pretty good at, and I played some tournaments. And from that, I think golf gives me like a lot of experience, because you're one player on the field, and there's a lot of pressure on every shot. And I think that kind of helped me with having that experience under pressure. That helped me bring it into Rocket League.
Yeah, for sure. So there's the reliance upon yourself. There's you know that you have to do it, because especially in Rocket League where everybody has to be able to do everything. Was there anything else that, particularly with sports, like mentality, other than just like the competitive nature, that you felt like helped you become a professional Rocket League player?
I think just being competitive in general. Like all these sports I've played, I've had the experience. Like I said, I played golf at not a top level, but like I played tournaments, and there was a lot of pressure on me. So having that experience, I think it really helps in a game like Rocket League.
For sure, yeah. Now you have an artistic side to yourself as well. You're a graphic designer by day, full time, and there are not many people I know who are full time in who are full time in anything, and also a professional gamer. How do you balance these two sides of your life?
So I've been full time graphic designing for 8 months, and actually just this week I decided to go part time to focus more on Rocket League.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's the last 8 months. It's been tough, but whenever I have free time, if I'm not with family, friends, or my girlfriend, I'm always playing Rocket League and always practicing whenever I can. And that's the only way I can balance my time is just playing whenever I can.
Well, that's really
Not
cool,
having
man.
any breaks.
It's awesome to hear that like Rocket League's becoming a big enough thing for you that you actually feel comfortable like stepping down from a full-time job, going to part-time on that one. And hey, maybe at some point you can stop doing the graphic design thing altogether, because Rocket League's going to be so big for you. Hoping for that for you here. Any other shout-outs you got for us before I let you go?
Shout out to my team, Croman Set Jr. Shout out to my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, Kelly. Shout out to Squishy's Discord, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome stuff. Well, hey, Corrupted G, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Good luck with Equinox and the rest of RLCS.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic stuff. That's Corrupted G, ladies and gentlemen. Always great to talk to the players and get their thoughts on our new systems here. When we come back, top 5 plays from Twitch, top 5 plays from Brisk. It's just going to be crazy plays all over overtime here. It's going to be great. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Let go.
Welcome back to Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a fun show so far. We've had an interview, we've talked about which teams we thought were going to make it through, and now we're going to get into top 5 plays of Twitch, top 5 plays of Brisk, all sorts of top 5, just great plays. That's all we got left. It's the off season. What do you want us to do? Top 5 plays from Twitch clips here, guys. And we got a surprise. You want to stay tuned to the end because you guys get to participate next week. Let's start here with Jacob. Had a clip on his stream. Jacob, the Cobmeister. Hashtag just Jacob things. I want to see it.
Sometimes you just have to believe, honestly. That wasn't even close. Holy shit, we should lose this game.
Sometimes you just have to believe.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw it, I didn't even notice the clock was a 0. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Jacob.
Oh,
And
it
then-
is a no.
Yeah. The clock went 0, and he just like did this and like
That
to put
just
it into overtime.
Brought that to a whole nother level of insane. What a goal!
Yeah. The delayed flip. He waits so long, and I love it. He jumped to dodge the bump, and then he's like, all right, now I'll flip. He waited until the last.
How does the other guy feel about that, too?
Yeah,
you know?
see him just driving
Not
literally
good.
underneath Jacob
Yeah.
and attack him. He could have just jumped on anything,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he sees Jacob do that. Oh, it feels bad, man.
Hindsight, man. I hate when I watch a replay. It's like, if I had done literally anything else,
Yes.
it would have not worked for them. If I had done anything else, it would have not worked
Sneezed
for
and
them.
pressed my jump button or something. Like,
You know, like in like Little League baseball, and they hit the ball over, and then you're like, you were so close to catching it, and then you sit there and you replay it in your mind for the rest of your life. You know, here in video games, you can actually go back and literally watch it. Like, it's not a memory. It's like literally go back and look at how many pixels away you were from winning the game here.
Well, the worst is usually other people save it and then put it up on YouTube and then tweet it at you.
Yeah,
So it's not
absolutely.
just that like you can go back and watch it, but some guys like, look what I did to that guy, and then you have to relive it constantly, and everyone's like, wow, you're so good, and I'm like, I'm the one that lost.
Oh man, so there are 3 areas on the field, right? There's the ground, there's the walls, and now there's the ceiling as well. People have started to use the ceiling, which is just crazy stuff. Take a look at what Rizzo does here on his stream.
I don't know why I went off the ceiling. Just made everything worse. What? Holy shit! Oh my god! What? Holy shit! What the
You know what my favorite thing is? I think I can whistle as high as he's laughing. It's just way up there.
I just love the moment the bounce happens, he's like, wait,
Yeah.
what? And you watch him like try and start to fix it, and he's like, I guess I'll do this. And then he
the hysterical laugh.
Yeah.
What? Like, it's just great.
It was like 4 octaves higher than that. I think you when you guys said that he tried to go into free play after this to like try and recreate the falling and bouncing. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a car bounce that high.
There's
in
almost
Rocket.
no way. What's funny is you look at how surprised Rizzo was. Imagine the goalie.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Like you watch a guy fall upside down on the ground, and then all of a sudden he's like air dribbling over here. You're like,
Yeah.
It was
what
crazy,
happened?
right? I mean, like, what recovery?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody bounce that hard.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a mutator or something. You should do that.
That was okay.
Bouncy mutators?
Yeah.
The funny,
That would be awesome.
That'd be a lot of fun.
the funny thing is we see him bounce off of the landing there, off of his spoiler. The next clip with Kronovi happened in the Brisk Summer Series, and it's basically like the opposite thing happens, but it's still just as amazing. Take a look.
Slowing it down. It's bumped by Classics, but he might fall and continue to get ball control. Look at this play from Kronovi across all 3 after getting bumped in the middle. It didn't matter. G2's up.
I haven't gotten that caught off guard in so long, popping that just down, and then look at how well he lands all 4 wheels, getting up for the jump.
Just like you said, look at how he lands. All
Yeah.
4 wheels perfectly on the ground. And this started with him getting bumped in the air, and he's like, oh, I got this,
Yeah.
no
Like,
problem.
I don't know how to react. Like, what's with everybody in these crazy recoveries getting bumped midair and just like Rizzo, like Kronovi as well?
I mean, you can just see how smooth it is. He didn't even let go of boost. He lands, he still holds in boost. He perfectly lands on all 4 wheels. Goes straight to where he needs to go. It's banana. And I think that's what's like, it's making it so hard to predict like when people are out of the play now. Because it used to be like,
Yeah.
oh, his recovery is
Yeah.
probably a little weak. I've got time because I just watched him hit the wall. But people are getting good and they're like, I don't know if I
Tricks
can
to
go for
hold
this.
boost and bounce off the ground, I guess, or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, just bounce
Like, I
off the
don't
ground.
know.
It's gonna land perfectly on alpha rails. Don't worry about me. It's nuts.
I feel like that is basically how the meta evolves in Rocket League is what plays do we see as, oh, now he's out of the play, or now he's not a threat anymore, and we can try to move up. And it used to be that, like, oh, if someone was air dribbling, it was like, nope, they're clearly pulling themselves out of the play because they're going to have so much trouble recovering, they're going to be completely out of boost. And now we see people able to do something like the Rizzo bouncing off of a spoiler, and he's still completely a threat in front of the net. Like, he didn't even expect it, but he was able to recover so quickly. And Cordova, the opposite, just landing straight on his wheels, no bounce at all, and just immediately picks up the ball. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, the timing worked well in his favor, obviously. Like, the defenders were, like, perfectly staggered. Where he's like,
yeah.
Oh, I can do this. Like, he bounced over the first defender, and then the moment he landed, but the recovery, I think, is what really made that play insane.
Planets aligned for
Yeah.
sure on that
Yeah.
one, definitely.
But the recovery, like, you can look at it, like, hitting into the ground is pretty cool, and then, like, getting a really quick dribble is really nuts. But to be able to connect those with, like, the most perfect recovery, the mostest of perfectest recoveries.
Mostest of perfect.
The mostest of perfect.
Toppest recovery. And then the players were, like you guys mentioned earlier, like the players were like perfectly spaced for the play to work out. It was like
Yeah.
all the stars aligned. But I also think that, like, you give me a ball in free play and bump me into the sky, and I'm putting no other players on the pitch, and I'm not gonna be able to pull that off. Like the players didn't even seem to.
I mean,
affect
to be
it.
fair, I think you put Kronovi back in free play, and he can't do that thing again either, right? Like, that was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fantastic play there from the Master. Play number 4, the other Master in North America right now, Squishy. I'll just let the play speak for itself. You guys have seen this stuff before. Let's look at it again.
This epic 5-game set. It is sent away by Dapper. Squishy is there because of course he is. And this is his shot. He got it over. Oh, Squishy!
No! Squishy, what? What was that? What? Oh my goodness, that wasn't a Tarzan swing. It was, but I have no words.
That is your winning shot for the Rocket game.
I like Stacks just calling. So that won Rocket Dailies for the day. Yep,
Yeah.
that definitely did. And we've now had 2 clips of a ridiculous ceiling shot that involves someone with a voice about 4 octaves higher than a man's voice is supposed to be here. Jorby just losing it.
Yeah, I do love when it's like, well, Squishy's there, like he probably always will be.
Yep.
Because he's just such a
Squishy's there
reliable
because of
player.
course he is.
Because of course he is.
We're getting to a point now, though, like we see Squishy. It's like, is there a spot on the field where he can't score goals?
Yeah.
I mean, like on the ceiling, the control, and he knew exactly where it's going. He just calmly drives onto the ceiling, like no biggie,
Gets
no
bumped
biggie.
mid-flight. No, don't worry. I'll still get the double
Whatever,
touch
yeah,
off the
double
backboard.
touch. I mean, you can't stop me.
Yeah. I think he has like a reserve boost though. I swear that guy can build so much momentum. He's just good at like conserving his momentum and knowing like I'm only gonna have so much boost to get this, but he managed to go up the wall, off the ceiling, come back down, get bumped, still have enough boost to follow it through, and still not run out. It's
I'm
actually
trying to
bananas.
think of a situation, think of a play where, especially for Jacob and Squishy, they aren't a threat. Like, where can you put the ball on the pitch, and where can you put their car? Like, where can we design a play where it's like, yeah, no, even Jacob and Squishy couldn't score that?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, that,
getting to the
I don't
point
think
where,
that's
yeah,
possible,
yeah.
man. I really don't.
I've seen like the balls coming off the backboard of the opponent, and they're coming off the backboard too, and like they still manage to somehow get their car over the top of it and send it back into the net. Like literally every single play has happened with you.
And then just week by week, they're getting more consistent at that crazy stuff. It used to be like, yeah, once in a while we'd see something insane. But now it's like almost constantly we're seeing them pull off just nuts stuff. And they're just getting more consistent week by week, which then just makes them even scarier and just a bigger, like a threat to your opponents and just a more value to your team.
Well, the last clip here is not nearly as crazy, but I think it's a great example of what Rocket League's all about. Happened in the Universal Open back in the first week. Most of you have probably seen this. It became an instant meme, but let's just take a look. We'll talk about it after we see it.
Oh, just like NASCAR, Dad. Turn left. Oh, yes, he's got it. Yes! Dad scores.
Backwards goal of all things.
We see the fist bump from some jumps on stuff, and Dad, he was able to do it. Great sports here all around. Oh,
man.
what a game.
Only 19 seconds left too. Cutting it close. But Dad gets the goal, the backwards goal. And the world celebrates. G2 will be moving on here. G2 so close.
And then just to set the stage here, Sir Jump on Stuff's teammate couldn't make it within 24 hours, and he was going to basically forfeit if he didn't find a teammate to play with. So he's like, Dad, just come play. Just come be on TV with me. Play here. And so then his dad shows up, who literally never held a controller before, and he was teaching him to hold a controller moments before they went on. And so they go up there, and G2, Rizzo and Stev had this one cleanly in the bag. But they're like, let's help Dad get a goal on stream, and it was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you can like see the smile on like Sir Jump on stuff. Like when he sees his dad scores, he's just like beaming, and like even us back there, we were like jumping out of our chairs. They had the camera on us because we couldn't believe it. We were so excited for Dad. I mean, coming in big in the Universal Open.
I mean, think of what he can say now. He has now scored on Rizzo, on TV, and in a professional Rocket League setting, which most players can't say. So that guy's got more than most of you watching right now. How does that make you feel?
He has 100% shooting percentage as well. He's taken one shot and scored one goal. No pros can say that.
Just don't take any more, Dad. Just keep it that way.
Yeah, which is the thing I love about Rocket League. I can't think of a single other esports scene where something like that is even a possibility, you know? Like, I can't think of a situation where they would be A-okay with a, like, basically non-competitors showing up and just having to be kind of a family story, you know? Like, Rocket League's community it builds those sorts of moments, and it's just one of the reasons why we love this game and this scene.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, and the fact that, like, even Sir Jump stuff, knowing that he lost his teammate, and he was pretty stoked probably to see what he could do and compete.
Yeah.
He still had a blast. Like, just the community as a whole, I think, has shown a lot of, like, good integrity of just understanding, like, sometimes stuff happens. And, you know, we're all here to compete, but at the same time, we just love the game. And to see him play with his dad, have a grand time, and the fact that Rizzo wasn't just there to dominate, which I think 4-1 was a pretty reasonable spread, considering the guy had never touched a controller prior to 5 minutes before the game started. So it was really cool.
So these clips have been fun, but I've seen these clips before, right? I've seen all these plays. Why we just show them to you and then kind of talked about them. I want to see what you guys have to present here. Definitely tweet us your Twitch clips at #OTClips at RLCS. Tweet the clip and then put at the end #OTClips at RLCS. I want to see your amazing plays in game. I want to see your hilariously bad plays in game. If you had some like crazy thing happen in a trade or like a crate opening or something, anything that has to do with Rocket League that you think is cool. If you have all your teammates coordinated colors or something like that, and we're able to get like an ice goal with all K2 wheels or something, I don't know. What do you guys want to see?
I want to see the bad stuff. I see good stuff all the time. I want to see like the juicy, just like, I'm terrible and I'm embarrassed to show this to everybody, but let's put it on. Like, I want thousands of people to watch this moment because I hate it, and I want you all to hate it with me. I want the bad stuff.
Those moments that you enjoy when, like, you, your teammates, and the other team as well just all collectively whiff the ball, like, in high pressure, the ball's just, like, floating on the goal line. You're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. Like, just freaking out. That's the best.
Beautifully bump your teammate into saving your own shot or something like that. Stuff like that. There will be, if you've tweeted out, we'll get, like, the top 5 or so clips, and we'll watch them and react to them here live on Overtime. So if you want to get onto the big screen here, this is your way to do it. #OT at RLCS with your Twitch clips. We'll look through them and we'll find our favorite one. So that will be a lot of fun. Got one more segment here before we're done for Overtime for the day. Brisk happened. We got to see one crazy play from Kronovi. We got a couple more from that series. Top 5 plays from Brisk coming up here after the break. Welcome back to Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. The top plays madness continues here. For our last segment, we're gonna go back, take it back to the brisk. The last brisk, we've talked about them before here, but we've got the top 5 plays in the books, in the queue, ready to be played. You guys ready for this?
Am I? Oh boy, am I, wave punk.
Look at me.
Quinn's like, I don't know what happened
I'm
to these people.
so ready for this.
Number 5.
Okay.
Number 5 was Nose Dude in the air, setting up his teammate Jacob. This is a pretty nuts play. You see, it's like, and Sad Junior's like, I got this.
What?
Nope, you don't exist anymore. Jacob, gonna put that one through.
What? A demo, dude?
Yeah, when I was casting this, I couldn't tell if it was on purpose, but it's 100% on purpose when you watch it later.
Oh, that's
Went
so sick.
straight for the undercarriage.
It's hard to play defense when you just don't exist anymore.
The perspective from Sad Junior is so great. You just see Nose Dude flying in from the bottom.
I wonder what Sad Junior said.
All right, number 4, Darkfire. He had quite the weekend here with some fantastic plays. We might actually see him again later on in the top 5. But here at number 4, the quick midfield redirect, upside down, why not?
Oh.
2 defenders there, can't get him.
It's just so pretty. Just one of those things you just want to watch it. You just want to watch it again.
Just watch.
One of those gifts that you let repeat a billion times.
There's the beautiful contact in between his front wheels, too.
Yeah.
It's like exactly where it needed to be. Moving on, number 3. We saw this one earlier. We'll see it again. Just, it's worth seeing 2 times. Kronovi's bump dribble thing.
I still just don't understand. I mean, the presence of mind to see him get that bump, and like, you know, he saw the defenders. That's why he tried to beat them with the pop.
Yeah. Look at how fast he already starts
So
boosting.
crazy.
Downwards, just the recovery. Boop. Already on all 4s. Boop.
Back
Already gets another bump.
1, 2, and 3. I love commentating dribbles. It's like, oh, he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. Very rarely do you get to say the third one. It's usually just the 2. But Darkfire, speaking of number 2, here he is again. This guy, the give and go, putting it over to the side, gets the pass back, and then straight into the goal one more time. He's just the passing monster here.
His margin for error was so small on this shot. He just had to get there. He had no room. Look at where he squeezed it.
The timing on that flip is impeccable. I mean, he doesn't miss it by a second. If he was any later, I think he would have hit the post or he would have got bumped.
Number 1, Garrett G, going back to NRG, the monster himself. We saw him do some of this in the.
No.
Yep.
Oh! Garrett G!
Let's watch it again. Watch it again. Just rewind all the way. Yep, here we go.
He knows it's perfect too. He knows
He
it.
knew
The
it. He knew it
second he touched
immediately.
that, he boosted right away.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't even care.
These guys. These guys.
These guys.
These
You know?
guys.
It pisses me off so much. I practice so much, and I could not ever do double touches even like half as good as Garrett G.
You're bad and you should feel bad, Quinn.
Oh, should we talk about you?
I'm terrible and I feel terrible every day for
Okay.
it. Don't worry, I'm with you.
I just want to point out we had a top 5 from a tournament that NRG won, and it didn't include a Jacob play. Like technically he scored the first goal, but he wasn't what made that first goal crazy.
That's true.
Nose Dude and Garrett G. It included 2 plays from NRG from 2 different players on NRG, and neither of them were Jacob. Tells you just how deadly NRG is right now.
All 3 of them at any given moment. Even with a sub, Nose Dude has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, seriously. Ever since DreamHack Atlanta, that guy has been on another level.
How
Like,
often
really
do you see
so good?
How often do you see a mid-air targeted demolition on a defender? And I imagine being in Sad Junior, knowing him, because I've talked to him quite a bit. But the moment that happened, he's like, what? What? The moment you just don't exist and a goal goes in, especially because all he saw was explosion, and then he saw, douche, Garrett scored and Jacob, and then Jacob scored. Douche, Jacob scored. He's like, what?
Yeah, it was such a good approach as well because Tad Jr. does not see Nose Dude coming at all.
No,
I mean, he's like seriously in the bottom of the screen and then just comes out of nowhere and just ends Sad Jr.
Yeah, it is the perfect. You actually I think it was Sad Junior's car basically is in the way of seeing Nose Dude come at him. And it's just like you said, perfect.
You just see the little name tag slowly getting bigger, pop out of nowhere.
Yeah,
If I had a small champagne problem, I would have almost loved that it wasn't a demolition because watching people sail across the map is always just a little bit funnier. Like when you bump somebody, you're like, bye! It just gets sent to the moon.
And then
that would have been a little bit funnier, but it was still a great play.
Come on,
watch
Nose
as
Dude,
they
get it
fly
together.
backwards.
We want bumps, not demos.
Nose Dude, can't you just figure it out?
Come on.
Go for bumps because they're funnier, and I want to laugh. That's all I care about.
Oh man.
Humor. to get me up in the morning.
Top 5 plays. Always so much fun here on Overtime. But that's going to do it for this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast. Next week's going to be a lot of fun, too. The season is approaching. RLCS is just around the corner. We're going to have lots of great information next week. So stay tuned to this channel. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here for a whole week. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm kidding. Go do what you got to do. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
No, stay.
No, it's okay. They can
Stay.
Dancing